So I just got done with season 3 of OBX, and TBH IDK if I'm still going to be invested after this season. Also, since this is a season 3 only review, I think I should very clearly state a spoiler alert from here going forward. If you want to watch my season 1 and 2 review, link will be in the description, or just click on the first video on my channel. I only have 3 videos at this point. So going into season 3, I was very interested to see where the story was going to go and how they were going to handle the big twist that was John B's dad still being alive. Now, to be honest with you guys, I wasn't the biggest fan of them bringing back John B's dad at the end of season 2, and throughout season 3, I kind of felt justified in my opinion. Side note, this entire season did a lot of things that I was personally afraid of them doing, so this is not going to be a very lighthearted review. Now yes, he's important to the story, but that's for the sake of the writers making him important. Everything he did could have easily been accomplished by another cast member and it would have been just fine. His major role was the fact that he could translate certain things that nobody else could, which made him valuable, but as you might assume, that's not something so important that they had to keep him alive for. Especially when there was another character who could also make this special translation, but of course they offed him to make John's father the only hope, which I guess was their way of justifying it, but I still thought leaving him alive was pointless. Not to mention he ended up dying at the end of the season anyway, so it feels like he was brought back just to have some emotional moments with John B that didn't really connect with me anyways. And like I said, that's just me. Some of you guys might have connected with those emotional moments. Me, honestly could have cared less for him. Also, why was he so comically aggressive? Bro was trying to beef with everyone, including his son, even in circumstances that didn't even call for it. His whole presence kind of brushed me the wrong way, but I'll admit, me being skeptical of them keeping him alive in season 2 definitely made me go into season 3 with my antennas up already on him, so I already was going to be critical regardless. Next we have the relationships. Now, in my season 1 and 2 review, I stated that we also got a very brief relationship between Kiera and Pope that looked like a textbook example of looks good on paper, but works out terribly in person. And I'm glad it didn't last very long, because I think this group works best when it's kept at a platonic level. And I fully stand by that. Could Key and JJ make a good couple? Sure. Could Pope and Cleo? I think so, but did we really need them to be together outside of satisfying the shippers of those couples? I don't think so. But I don't want to be super critical of it because as it stands, we haven't really seen it mess up the chemistry of the group because so much was happening when they both got together. I just don't really like when shows feel the need to put characters in relationships with one another all the time instead of doing something normal like keeping them as friends. A crazy concept, I know, but there is a thing called a platonic relationship. It's kind of how most people interact with each other, or at least most people that I interact with. So now that I got my 2 major grievances out the way, let's get into the meat and potatoes, the story. So unfortunately, this season didn't really do anything new as far as how things go. The Pogues come up with a plan, the plan doesn't work, but when it fails, there's a little light of hope that sparks a new plan, then rinse and repeat. And then we have the occasional conflict within the group as well as their parents. Now there were some moments in the story that I thought, wow, are they gonna do something different? But unfortunately they did not. Like how Sarah and John B had a fight which led to her hooking up with Topper. I actually thought things were about to get spicy, especially when Topper proceeded to set John B's house on fire after John and Sarah got back together. But no, they did absolutely nothing with that, and it all occurred and was resolved in 2 episodes. I'm not even exaggerating, it literally all happened over the course of 2 episodes. It's just funny to see a show like this have so many wild moments but also play it safe when it comes to story progression. Even the whole Key and JJ relationship. From episode 1, anybody with eyes who have seen a teen drama or just any drama show period could tell you they were going to end up together. So why proceed to prolong it until the second to last episode? I don't know why. The end result was a finale, but not the finale you imagine. It was more so a they really beat around the bush for 8 episodes just for what we knew was coming to finally come type of finale. At least for Cleo and Pope, it kind of felt more natural and not so formulaic, but even still, I kind of reserve my judgment on just throwing people into relationships. Also, I guess I should bring up the main antagonist, right? I forgot his name, so I'll just call him by his nickname Kingfish. He was horrible. From episode 1, they built him up like he was a cartel boss or something with a small militia on standby, but outside of that first interaction with him, he never felt like he had the upper hand, even in moments where they want you to feel like he does. He felt like an inconvenience more than an actual threat, and because of that, I could really care less about him. Oh yeah, and also Sarah's dad dies as well. So this season was pretty whatever. There were some good moments, the group dynamic is still fun to watch, but this show is in desperate need of a shakeup. They end the season teasing that the group was about to become treasure hunters for hire, with Blackbeard's treasure being the first task for them. And while I'll admit that could make for interesting TV, I hope that the rinse and repeat formula they've been doing gets abandoned. My favorite part of this show are the characters and how they operate as a group, but if season 4 is more of what we've already been getting, I think that'll be my cue to check out. If I'm rating the season on its own, I'm feeling a 3 out of 10 right now, but I did just finish watching not even an hour ago, so as time goes on it might grow on me. I doubt it though, because most times shows kind of drop in ratings after I kind of live with them a little bit. I'm usually pretty generous after I finish watching something, so there is that. Now, season 4, that's going to come out whenever. Of course, I'll cover it when it comes out because this is the first show I reviewed on my channel, so I guess it's always going to have a special place in my heart in a weird kind of way. But yeah, I'm not really excited to see what happens. But, you know, the show did just come out. I'm sure a lot of you guys have your own opinion on it, so please let me know in the comment section. Until my next video, I will see you guys when I see you guys. I am out.